A campus Me Too event takes on a new meaning as sexual misconduct allegations still surround a Medill professor.
Northwestern football players prepare to go head-to-head with other NFL hopefuls.
And while the entertainment industry may be dominated by men at Northwestern, the women are taking charge of productions.
We'll have those stories and more coming up tonight on the Northwestern News Report.
It's your news right now.
Really comes to the individual faculty voices to add a different kind of color to the perspective.
Backlash continues toward Medill professor Alec Klein amid allegations of sexual misconduct. Good evening, I'm Matt Dunn.
And I'm Bria Calpin. The fallout from the accusations is now entering week 2. NNN's Justin Sweetwood spoke with some of the Northwestern faculty members who wrote a letter condemning Klein's behavior.
On February 7th, 10 former Medill students and employees wrote a letter to Northwestern administration accusing Medill Justice Project director Alec Klein of sexual harassment, verbal abuse, and bullying. Just last week, 15 Medill tenured professors stepped in to write a letter of their own, saying that they're listening, they hear the accusers, and they're doing what they can to prevent such actions from happening in the future.
Well, I think there's probably no other word just to say that I was shocked.
Medill Associate Professor Rachel Davis Mercy was one of the 15 professors who signed their name on the letter of support to Klein's accusers.
I frankly can't remember who was saying, I wish we could say we heard them. And someone said, we can say that. For the faculty who sat down together and began this conversation, the real point we wanted to express to the 10 women who wrote that letter was that we heard them and that we understood it had a ripple effect throughout the conversations we would have as a faculty and staff and students on the institution.
Longtime Medill professor Donna Leff also expressed her support for the 10 women and gave her input on how to combat this issue going forward.
It's not like an act of bravery on our part or anything. We were just kind of saying to them, we're sorry that you haven't been supported, and we want you to know that we do support you. I think that if you want to address this problem, one of the places to start with changing the culture is to have some women in leadership positions, because I know that women feel comfortable with me.
Mercy also emphasized that a critical part of the situation is shaping the direction Northwestern goes in the future.
I do think we're seeing a seed change. I think we're seeing a moment where the conversation is really going to focus on taking care of one another. And I think that conversation cannot just happen among the faculty. It has to happen by engaging students and staff and administrators in our community.
All right, Justin, have any decisions about the program been made for the future?
Now, as we mentioned last week, Medill professors Patty Wolter and Peter Slevin are serving as the interim instructors, but a decision has still not been made regarding who will permanently serve in the role.
Okay, thanks, Justin.
The hashtag #MeToo went viral in October of last year following the publication of sexual misconduct allegations against Harvey Weinstein. Since then, the social media phenomenon has turned into a social movement, and the movement's future was the subject of a forum Monday night. Now, NNN's Hannah Brown was there. So, Hannah, a lot of people showed up, right?
That's right. More than 50 people, including many Medill administrators, came to Annenberg Hall to discuss the Me Too movement. The event has been in the works for several weeks, though it has stronger meaning in the wake of the Alec Klein allegations. At the invitation of Medill and Northwestern's Women's Center, award-winning journalist and author E.J. Graff gave her take on the future of the movement and its place on college campuses. The question and answer portion of the event moved on to have students asking how they and others could change the culture of reporting around the issue.
I just started working on a story that's...
Medill Jr. Ashley Hackett came to the event with a new interest in covering sexual misconduct and assault. By the time she left, she said she had realized Medill had done a poor job preparing her to report on the issue.
I was looking at a lot of really sad stuff within criminal justice this summer, and I felt like that really affected me. So I didn't even realize until now that maybe that was why I was feeling so down at the end of the summer.
Graff also noted that this was the time for ground-up changes, including how to handle sexual misconduct within journalism.
If you look into anyone, everybody's got to clean out their own houses. So journalists are cleaning out their houses. I mean, that's why all those men are falling, right? The stories are being told, and they have to pay attention now. You find a moment like this and you do what you can to push it as far as you can.
The event began with an hour-long reading biograph that we couldn't record, but will be published in Vice magazine by the end of March.
Thank you, Hannah. Really great reporting.
Rain and warm air have made February in Evanston feel more like April, but it's winter gone for good. NNN's Emma Evans joins us now with a check on the weather.
Thanks, Bria. It's been pouring rain all day, and right now it's 44 degrees. If we take a look outside at the Rock, we can definitely see the rain. People have been walking by with umbrellas and soaked shoes all day. As we get into the evening, however, the temperature will drop significantly, so watch out for ice. We'll tell you how much it will drop, and we'll have your 5-day forecast in 10 minutes.
Coming up, a new student publication hopes to give a voice to LGBTQ students.
Plus, 2 campus organizations join forces to celebrate student art. Stay tuned.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Go Northwestern, break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all to go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
If you've seen the Amanda Bynes movie, She's the Man, you're already familiar with the plot of Shakespeare's Twelfth Night. Northwestern's theater department is running its own adaptation of the play, also with a special twist. NNN's Mano Blackman has that story.
While most would run away at the idea of Shakespeare, director Jeffrey Moser has made Twelfth Night full of humor and surprises.
There are a lot of links to Commedia dell'arte within it, a lot of really big, juicy, fun characters who get to be larger than life.
Bless you, fair shrew.
And you too, sir.
Accost, Sir Andrew, accost.
For me, it's about dropping the facade. How do these characters drop the facade and really pursue their own true passions? And I think in this play, we drop the facade by breaking the fourth wall and connecting with our audience in ways that are unexpected throughout.
What exactly is this fourth wall, and how is it broken? The term refers to the metaphorical wall between the actors and the audience. As far as the how,
we're trying to kind of mess with that a little bit and kind of mess with the story while maintaining the integrity of like the script itself and the story that it's being told. We kind of have some ads and all kinds of fun and flirty things.
one of those things is the Wheel of Fortune, Moser's creation that makes one character use an audience member's suggestion to impress someone. But you'll have to see the show to find out more.
I want to tell you so much. I want to tell you everything, but to tell you anything would be to expose it.
One thing's for sure, the actors want you to be prepared to laugh.
It's so funny. It's so funny. Even if you're like, it's Shakespeare, like, I don't get Shakespeare, like, what the hell are they saying? Within the first 3 minutes of the show, you'll understand every single word.
Everyone should see this show. First of all, because I think Twelfth Night is such a great story. Every character is interesting, not just like the main characters. Each character is both so funny and heartbreaking at the same time. Come with an open mind, like come expecting Shakespeare, but also come like with your adventure hat on.
Bring a friend, bring a lover, bring an ex. All are welcome.
Mano Blackman, Northwestern News Report.
And you can catch the show Thursday through Saturday at 7:30 or Sunday at 2 p.m. in the Ethel Barber Theater. We're going to have to go see that.
Yeah, I mean, I love She's the Man, so I know I'm going to love this one.
Yeah.
A new publication is in the works at Medill. The Queer Reader is going to be a magazine aimed at giving a voice to the LGBTQ and feminist issues. Northwestern is home to numerous student-run clubs and publications, but for Medill sophomore Brock Collier, something was missing. He says he wanted to find a space to create content about the issues he saw being neglected on campus. Collier's solution was to start from scratch. This new magazine would cover both serious concerns for the queer community as well as artistic submissions and more lighthearted articles.
One thing that I'm really dedicated to doing with this magazine is calling out the institutions that we need to push up against and work with in order to indict change on this campus. And the two biggest institutions I have in mind are the university itself and Greek life. Too many times I see other publications on campus put out an article about campus sexual assault, and it will be written by a white guy in a fraternity, and that's not what we're aiming to do. The queer community here does have the potential to have a cohesive voice.
You'll be able to get a copy of the first edition of Queer Reader next fall. Residential College Board and Helicon magazine came together to give students an opportunity to appreciate the arts. NNN's Alexa McHale was there.
In the basement of Willard Hall, Residential College Board and Helicon Literary and Art magazine put on Art Fest, a gathering that celebrated student works and gave the community an opportunity to see the diversity of students interested in art.
It's a new Willard. This is beautiful. And two, these works of art are truly something else, and I'm taking home these postcards. So I just appreciate that Northwestern is doing something like this.
RCB got involved with Art Fest specifically because they wanted to incorporate student speakers into the show in addition to the art exhibits.
It fogged up the inside of the windshield.
Weinberg Jr. Celia Howe wrote a poem called What the World Thinks of Perfect Halves. The poem was published in last spring's issue of Helicon. She says it is a way to explain how two people in a relationship are not a perfect fit.
At the end, it still wasn't a perfect half, because his hand was still bigger than the other person's hand.
Editor-in-chief of Helicon, William Engeljenner, says he jumped at the chance to work with the Res College Board.
There's a lot of people on campus who aren't necessarily studying things in the humanities, so like literature, prose, poetry, and the arts, but really have a passion for it.
Res College Board and Helicon not only came together to showcase student art, but has given students the platform for creative expression. Director of Art Fest Joey Salvo has been working on this event for over a year, gathering submissions.
But I think it's really important to give students a non-competitive or judgmental venue for their work, where they can just sort of express themselves.
The two organizations say this is only the beginning of the art appreciation-based opportunities they hope to offer to students. Alexa McHale, Northwestern News Network.
Helicon will be accepting submissions for their spring 2018 issue until March 30th.
You might want to switch your snow boots for rain boots. I'm Emma Evans, and coming up, I'll have your 5-day weather forecast.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Go Northwestern, break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all the go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
Welcome back. I'm Emma Evans, and here's your 5-day weather forecast. Say goodbye to the sun this week as gray skies are here to stay. Tomorrow, expect to see a lot of clouds with a high of 39 and a low of 29. Thursday will be a high of 40 and a low of 36, but don't get too excited. Still no sun with mostly cloudy skies throughout the day. Make sure to have your umbrellas on standby Friday with a high of 45 and a low of 33. Light rain during the day and showers at night will move us into the weekend. And grab a warmer jacket Saturday morning because we're expecting a high of 39 and a low of 34. Keep that on through the day as we may see a bit of rainfall and maybe even 1 inch of snow Saturday night. Finally, on Sunday, we may actually see the sun again with a high of 41 and a low of 31 as cloudy skies early will clear up later in the day. I'm Emma Evans, and this has been your 5-day weather forecast. Back to you.
Thank you, Emma. The Olympics are in full swing, and maybe you've always dreamed of winning gold. But to win that gold, you're going to need lots and lots of green. Let's take a look at the most expensive Winter Olympic sport to compete in. That happens to be, you guessed it, figure skating. Figure skaters spend between $35,000 and $50,000 per year getting ready to compete. Let's see where all that money goes. Once a skater gets past the beginner levels, private coaching fees can range from $65 to more than $120 an hour. Plus, it's pretty common for skaters to work with multiple specialized coaches throughout the week. Next, we have the choreography fees. Choreography for a program can run up to $5,000 in some cases. Skaters typically learn at least one new program per year. Now, here's where the big money comes in, though, and that's with costumes. Costumes can cost anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000. Wow. And skates can cost anywhere from $800 to $1,000. We should note, though, that at the Olympic level, sponsors usually pay for those skates. Then there are the travel and medical expenses. Skaters typically travel to a handful of competitions a year, and families of skaters actually have to pay their own way, but also cover their coaches' expenses. And of course, skating is very strenuous on the ankles, so skaters see the doctor fairly often. So that's how much it costs, but how much can you make if you win? Skaters can win anywhere from $2,000 to $45,000 at international competitions, depending on where they place. Some also earn sponsorship money, but few can support themselves on just prize money and sponsorships alone. But we do have some good news for figure skaters, though. The U.S. Figure Skating Organization spent about $15 million last year on athlete assistance. That was enough to send 500 skaters to 35 international competitions. Bria, back to you.
Thanks, Matt. We wanted to know how you watch the Olympics, so we asked you in this week's edition of Rock Talk.
I have not watched the Winter Olympics. I haven't really had the time.
I only watched the figure skating event because that was the only one I had time to watch this year.
I watched ice skating and curling, I believe, and also snowboarding. I watched that too.
I've been doing my best to watch as much as possible. Been a little hard with midterms, but definitely I love all the ice skating, so I've been watching that, and then my family skis, so I've been trying my best to watch all the ski competitions.
I actually didn't have time to watch the opening ceremony, and past that I just never kind of caught up, and it's kind of been downhill from there.
After the break, Northwestern football players are training hard, but not for next season. They're preparing for this year's NFL recruitment, which is just around the corner. We hear from the ball carrier next.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
will cheer you all the go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, spread for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
Welcome back. Northwestern football season may be over, but for two former captains, rest can't come yet.
After an impressive senior campaign, Justin Jackson and Godwin Igwebuike now set their focus to lifelong dreams in the playing in the NFL.
NNN's Jared Thomas has that story.
Godwin Igwebuike and Justin Jackson felt turmoil at the start of the 2017 football season, but persistence prevailed.
If we didn't have the leadership we have, I think it could have taken a big toll on our team. You know, those ups and downs, that bumpy road we were on. I mean, I'm gonna miss it. You know, it was really fun. You know, being out there day in, day out, struggling and grinding and achieving with my brother. So it was definitely a great one.
Igwebuike took a different approach when reflecting on the season.
My standards are really high, and oftentimes I felt like I had to work harder, do more. So I had to take a step back and be like, let me enjoy myself, let me enjoy this team. So, I mean, we think of those little things, just little changes here, little changes there, ultimately made me a lot better football player.
Seniors Justin Jackson and Godwin Igwebuike take their next step in their playing career for the NFL Combine in Indianapolis, Indiana, starting February 27th.
Now in the next phase at TC Boost, as we are right here, and just working on the Combine, getting faster. Now it turns into a track meet. How fast can you run the 40-yard dash? How fast is your shuttle? How many times did you throw up the 225? So coming in here 5 times a week, getting right, getting prepared.
And I'm kind of just, you know, in this zone where I'm just, you know, I have, you know, kind of those blinders on. I'm just trying to get ready. And prove myself at the Combine.
Jackson has remained the same despite this moment's magnitude.
Just be yourself, you know, when you're having interviews with teams and stuff like that. You know, if you have to change who you are, then you know, there's probably a problem there.
Jackson and Igwebuike look to get their names called in April at the NFL Draft. Reporting in Evanston, Jared Thomas, NNN.
Coming up, not many women are nominated for Best Director at the Academy Awards.
But that's not discouraging women directors at Northwestern. Hear how they're stepping up behind the scenes next.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Go Northwestern, break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all the go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, spread for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
Only 5 women have ever been nominated for an Academy Award for Best Director, but at Northwestern, women directors are actually quite common.
Yeah, NNN's Joey Safchek tells us how Northwestern breeds young directors who happen to be women.
Like, feel it and get there, and like, don't worry about hitting it at the exact moment that you've done it before.
When Gabby Santana arrived at Northwestern, she wasn't sure what she wanted to do with her life.
I think that really worked. That made like it feel like the scene was going somewhere.
Now a senior, the theater English double major is certain that she wants to be a director.
I think having amazing female directors surround me all the time was the thing that made me realize that it's like what I want to do.
Santana is currently directing her 3rd full-length Northwestern production. Students like Santana take advantage of the abundance of student theater to flex their directing muscles, and she's one of an increasing number of aspiring female directors at NU.
I feel like being a woman, you grow up learning to just be quiet and take a step back. So I spent a lot of time just truly believing I was not good enough to do it. And it's just really inspiring to see other women doing it. And it makes me feel very hopeful for the future of our art form.
And it isn't only on Northwestern's campus where the picture is changing. Greta Gerwig is nominated for an Oscar for Best Direction next month, making her the 5th woman ever to be nominated in that category. And just last year, a woman won the Tony Award for Best Direction of a Play, making her the 6th woman ever to do so.
I see myself in Greta Gerwig so clearly. It's like really amazing to see her being recognized for the amazing work she's doing. It's really encouraging.
Dozens of productions are directed annually on campus by women, including from a student theater group dedicated entirely to producing women-centric work. Professors like School of Communications Spencer Parsons, who runs the senior directing sequence, have noticed that same trend in classes, even though the department hasn't done anything special to reach out to more women.
Perhaps the university is doing a good job of making all of our students feel sort of sufficiently empowered to make that choice to direct.
Parsons hopes that Northwestern's up-and-coming directors will contribute to adding a diverse dynamic behind the scenes beyond Evanston.
Artistically, it's very exciting to have more diversity of voices, because we really just need to see different kinds of points of view.
Parsons believes that the young female directors on this campus are setting the scene for a new era of entertainment. Joey Safchik, Northwestern News Network.
The Academy Awards ceremony will be March 4th, and hopefully we'll see some of those cats in the Academy Awards someday.
That's right, we will be watching. Well, now it's time for a check of our weather. What do you got, Emma?
Yeah, the weather is looking a lot warmer this week, but keep your umbrellas nearby and expect mostly gray skies. Tomorrow is the coldest day of the week with the high of 34, so make sure to wear a warm jacket.
Yeah, we're not really looking forward to that rain, Emma, but that's all for the Northwestern News Report. For all of us here at NNN, I'm Matt Dunn.
I'm Emma Evans.
And I'm Bria Calpin. Thanks for joining us.